Wherever you go in the world, one airline goes further to make it feel exceptional. Qatar Airways, going places together.
Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Saquarema, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, here for the Copa Kitley GKA Kite-Surf World Cup. We have had an interesting morning where wind has been going up and down, but we are finally going into action. Let's go out there on the water as we have a heat in between Felipe Ferreira, Leonardo Granjero, and Hendrik Lopez. All right, so here we have Felipe Ferreira, the Brazilians. Great to see him back on tour already. Big vertical hack there from him. That's what I talk about, a way to start off of a heat. A little bit of a foam climb there, just keeping himself busy, coming down. It's a little bit of a one-hit wonder out there at the moment. The tide is going to be coming up in about an hour, and the A-frame here at Saquarema is getting even more defined. So they really have to pick off on the good ones if they want to be able to get in those high scores. Here we have also Leonardo Granjero, another nice big turn. Open up the face, going to be able to get another flown climb. And once again, you can see one hit for them. And trying to make the most of this little foam on the inside. So one wave for Felipe, one wave for Leonardo, and boom, Hendrik Lopez, recently just joining the Cabrina team here, the youngster representing Switzerland, but coming out of Cabo Verde, the Cape Verdean here, and a very talented young man, wing foiler, kite surfer, you name it, this kid does it, and great to see him over here in Rio de Janeiro. Here we can see that replay of that last one from Leonardo. But as it is, we have a 4.97 for Felipe Ferreira, a 3.27 for Leonardo Granjero, and a 4.07 for Hendrik Lopez out there on the water so far. All right, Leonardo once again making his way towards us. We saw this guy absolutely ripping over there in Taiba at the end of last year. And now start to build himself up here. First time we've been over in Rio de Janeiro, and it is so cool to be coming over here to Saquarema, one of the locations of the WSL. And we can have our best kite surfers out on the water. As I mentioned before, Felipe Ferreira, great to have him back in action. And we haven't seen him since about 4 years ago, together with his sister, Mila. And it is very cool to have him back in action. And now just he is out there on the core. You can see on the orange Cabrina, that is Hendrik Lopez. And then out on the north on the blue, which is outside of your screen, is Leonardo Granjero. So far in the lead, we have Felipe Ferreira. 12 minutes heats, 2-minute transitions. Top 2 waves are the ones that count. 10 maximum waves is what they can have, 10 attempts. What are the judges looking for? They are looking for the flow, the style, linking it together, moving it around, going through sections, execution, and driving down the line. If you hit all of those notes, you are going to get the high scores from our judges over here. A 5-man judging panel, where the top and the bottom score is eliminated, and then the average of the middle 3 scores, and that's the number that you will see come up on your screen. And once again, if you're just joining us, welcome to Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, for the Copa Kitley GKA Kite-Surf World Cup here in Saquarema. All right, Hendricks here, just getting a little one on the inside. Sometimes there are a little bit of a kind of shore breaky, mushy, but working it as much as possible. Wave selection is definitely going to be key in these heats as conditions are marginal out there at the moment. It's been fluking and flipping all morning long. And I can see also down here on the shore his cousin, Ayrton Cosolino, telling him to get back out. As he, if anybody knows about competitions, is that man, multiple world champion, Ayrton the Alien Cosolino. One of the guys who has pushed this sport to where it is today. But a very talented surfer there on your screen right now, Felipe Ferreira. And he is a 5.10, so the highest wave of the heat. But we have just seen Hendrik get 2 scores, so he is currently in the lead. Here we have Felipe having a look on one of those smaller ones like we just saw Hendricks do, but having to move that kite. Let's turn number 1 on the side of the foam wall, looping it down. A little bit of a foam climb there, just trying to milk it as much as possible, but that is not going to be anything too big. And here we have Leonardo right on the A-frame. See if he can gain some speed and start to get some turns in. Just a little check turn here on the way down. This is where this better section can start to open up for our athletes. Mid-face turn, not going vertical, that's going to cost him. And just starting to drive down. Wind is cross offshore, side offshore at the moment. And kind of shifts from side to side off to side on. It is kind of a little bit fluky there. And guys are really having to get that kite low if you want to be able to stay on there and be able to get the linking, be able to get the turns. But so far, Felipe Ferreira there, 2.60 for that second one, putting him into first position. But anybody's heat out there on the water. We've just gone past the 6 minutes, 12 minutes to go. 12-minute heats, 6 minutes to go, excuse me. And welcome to Saquarema as we are starting off strong. I know what, it's that time of the day. Gonna get one of these nice ones open and start it off. Get some wings and get some adrenaline coming through our veins as we have the best of the best out here on the water. There you can see the competition area and the beautiful church of Saquarema. So intense the sunsets here. Oranges and reds all the way along the coastline. And that church lights up and it is definitely a postcard moment. All right, so Felipe taking one off a little bit further down the break. And this is looking like a good selection. He's going to be able to get a good turn here. Nice and vertical off of the top, letting that tail loose, but not getting enough power to continue in. That's a shame. Hendrik, here we have a good section here for him, linking 2 decent turns together. Hitting the A-frame right on the critical section. And now this is where they just kind of do a couple little check turns on their way down to try and get some extra scores. But Hendrik, what he's doing is staying further up, because as the waves are far and few between, if you can get that one-hit wonder or a two-hit wonder, but on the critical section, like you can see here on the replay, you are going to get the better scores. Nice bottom turn, up, opening the shoulders, right as the wave is closing down. Good moves there for Hendrik Lopez, and let's see what the judges have thought about that last hit wave. All right, moving himself into first position, 4.80 there for Hendricks. Leonardo, first little check turn, a little bit too far out on the shoulder, yet deciding against that. You almost have to be coming almost, I'd say, back to if it was barreling, but coming from the other side of the peak to really be able to hit this A-frame right on, because then you have only about 3 or 4 meters of distance to be able to get a second turn in, and then the wave really does flatten out. We've seen it from Felipe, we've seen it from Hendricks. Coming up in the final 3 minutes of this heat. Round number 3 of the competition, the winner goes to round number 5. The 2 bottom riders, so the second and the third, will have to battle it out in that round number 4. As we continue on here for the Copa Kitley GKA Kite-Surf World Cup, day number 3. We've had kiting, we've had wing foiling, we've had caipirinhas, and we've had samba. But this is why we come to Rio de Janeiro. And there you can see everybody starting to get their equipment ready. Everybody starting to get going, as they know we are now on full competition mode. It is just coming up on 3 o'clock in the afternoon here. Normally around 5:30 is when the sunset comes, and that will be the end of the win. So we've probably got about a solid 2 hours of competing coming your way. Idea is to push on in round number 3 of the men. It's about 2.5 hours of competition if all goes smoothly. And then we will see how much time we have left over if we're going to continue. Now switching it up, 2 minutes to go. Leonardo, let's see what he has for us. Open face turn, just keeping the speed, making his way down. This is the one you really have to get. Nice, letting the tail loose, cutting the turn a little bit early. Not going all the way up the face. That's where you can see the difference in the scores. We can see Hendrik and Felipe getting the 5s and the 8s, because they do have that little bit more of a verticality. Leonardo kind of stopping that turn halfway through. All right, Hendrik, here he goes. A little bit of a foam climb here. This is now, you can see the wave is opening up nicely for him. Just slightly late there for that one. This is going to be a little ride onto the inside. Looking to improve on a 4.07, his backup score. All right, Felipe, roundhouse, back to the power section of the wave. Liking what we're seeing, looping that kite down. Foam climb here, also fully rotating that body. Just kind of snapping it up. Nice, another turn, and okay, someone is motivated out there. Making a claim on it. Claiming before you even finish. That's what I call dedication. All right, here we have Leonardo looping the kite to try and get into position. That's a better turn. Oh, such a shame. Just going nose diving over that one. All right, waiting to see what kind of scores are going to come in there for Felipe. 6.57. Now we are talking. 6.57 Felipe Ferreira, so in first position. Highest wave score of the day. Hendricks on that last one got a 4.0, so that's not going to improve on his overall score. As we are just coming up on the final seconds of this heat, are we going to see anybody get on another wave? Having a little look-see, it doesn't look like it. And let's just enjoy this last replay of Felipe Ferreira's last wave. Pure surfing style. Starting off with a nice cutback, and roundhousing it to the power section. And a few check turns here on the foam. And that's the moment where he knows that's where he is happy. And when athletes of his caliber start to be happy and start to fill in the zones, good things will happen. But while we're waiting, let's have a look at the highlights of that last heat. And welcome back, everybody, as we continue on with the competition. And here we have green flag hitting the sky. Victor Ribas, Clement Rosselló, and Sebastián Ribeiro. Those are the three athletes coming out there. Sebastián Ribeiro, he has won events on the surfing side in the past, and he is one of the top Brazilian surfers. And starting off on the buzzer, here we have, okay, no, but deciding against it. So in the white is Sebastián Ribeiro, in the blue, Clement Rosselló from France, also a very talented surfer, been hanging out a lot in Tahiti in the last couple of months. And then Victor Ribas, who put on a very good performance yesterday in round number 2. Those are your three athletes who are going to be battling it out here to see who is going to be going round to number 5. The winner goes directly to number 5, and then the other two, so the second and the third, will have to battle it out in round number 4, where we start to have elimination rounds out there. All right, Clement. Oh, nice. Driving through the fins, letting it loose. Little bit of a 180 there. And now just a couple little foam checks on the inside, but very stylish, opening up the hips. All right, here, Sebastian, one of my favorite surfers. Look, there's the difference. Going vertical, keeping the thing. He almost, you can, when you see this guy surf, he doesn't need the kite. He stays right on the wave, doesn't go out in front of it, which is where he does get those top scores. So Sebastian trying to get in that impact zone to be able to get a few turns. 2 turns there for him. Going to be interesting to see the difference in between the score from Clement and the score from Sebastian. But as I say, Sebastian stays right on the wave. He isn't driving out in front of it. So I reckon Sebastian's wave is going to be slightly better, as it is more surfing than kiting. So there it is, 5.50 for Sebastian and a 3.97 for Clement. Judges really making a difference there and telling you what they are looking for. They are looking for 100% surfing, driving through the fins, using the power of the wave, and only using the power of the kite to your advantage, not to be able to escape and go past sections. So there we are, 5.50, Sebastián Ribeiro, your leader so far, as we are just coming up on 9 minutes left in this heat. All right, here we can go. Clement has a 3.97. This is better timing off the top. Handbrake turning the thing. That is just really just letting those fins loose because he has the kite there. And here he's going to go back. A little bit of a roundhouse, but again, just spinning out that tail. Judges, they want to see it coming off of the top and flowing through the turn. And we've seen that in the difference of scores. Beautiful turn there from Sebastian going backside off the top. A little bit of a roundhouse here, trying to stay on that power section. Off a little bit of a finisher, pushing out that back foot. Has a little look behind. Nice wave there from Sebastian. So a 6.07 for that first one. And here we can see just waiting for those second scores to come your way. All right, so that's 4.53 for that last wave there from Sebastián Ribeiro. And welcome everybody on the screen. And Jeffrey Castillo, you will be here one day, I am sure of it. Keep training, keep working. And we will look forward to seeing you here on tour at one of the events worldwide. Rio de Janeiro here at the moment. All right, Sebastian, this is good wave selection off the top. Getting vertical. Look at the amount of water he just displaces. Again, 2 beautifully linked turns. Then goes back. Continues waiting up. And just seeing if he can get this section on the bottom. But no. Tide is really starting to full out here. Clemano trying to decide against going out on that wave. So Sebastian here looking to improve on a 4.53 with those 2 turns. We can see some of the athletes down here on the beach having a little look-see and seeing how they're doing. Okay, here Clement, this is looking like a nice one, opening all the way up. But almost dipping his kite there. Let's see if he can start to link these together. There's turn number 1. Just missing the timing on that one. Kind of having to stop mid-face and trying to get something down here, but just a little foam claw. But going down in the white water. All right, Victor Ribas. The Brazilian had his family down here yesterday as well. Had a chat with him this morning. So cool to see some of these guys. He says he's not used to looping the kite so much and trying to get back into it. Here we can see a couple of nice turns here from him. Keeping that kite in a nice position to be able to make sure he keeps that speed. And a nice wave there from Ribas. Says his first, it would be his second wave. Probably going to improve on the score he has there. But as it stands in the lead, we have Sebastian Ribeiro in second position. Clement Roseo, and third, we have Victor Ribas. All right, Sebastian out. He's already all the way up on the top, waiting for a set to come through. As we've been saying, wave selection is definitely going to be key today. Also see some of the wing foilers having a little go to see how the conditions are out there. If I'm not mistaken, that even looks like Wesley Brito, the winner from Cape Verde. Black Mamba, as he's known. But here we have Sebastian. And in the middle, that is Clement. And here we can see Victor having a little look-see and deciding to go on this one. You can see him starting to look around. Going to be starting to loop that kite. So first a check turn. Now he's going to be dropping in. Here we go, puffing out the cheeks. Kite needs to be a little bit lower to be able to keep that power. He's going to get caught up here in the mush if he's not careful. Yep, you can see, fortunately, kite position not where he needed it to be. Working against himself there, unfortunately. So important to get that kite in the sweet spot so it doesn't pull you off of the wave. It actually helps you on the wave. Sebastian Ribeiro, a master when it comes to that. But we continue on here for heat number 2 of round number 3 of the competition. The winner goes to round 5. And then the second and the third go into round number 4 to see who is going to continue on in the competition. All right, so Ribas, Victor Ribas, 8.13, overtaking Clement as he got a 4.20 for that last wave surf. Nicely done. As I said yesterday, put on a solid performance. Here he is. This one's opening up nicely, even though it's a lot further down the competition area. But closing out on him there, just a little bit of a foam climb. That's not going to be making much a distance. And I can see out the front of my cabin here, Sebastian Ribeiro, that's going to be his first turn. Open arc, but just not quite going down, even though that wave was closing out there for him. Signaling the shore. Trying to find out and see where he's positioned. All right, Clement has a 4.20 and a 4.03. Sebastian a 4.53 and a 6.07. So nice and comfortably in the lead. Clement, a very talented surfer. Jeffrey, yeah, absolutely. We do need to get an event over there in Dominican Republic. One in Encuentro like the old days would be amazing. And then a little bit of Honors and Lax to finish it off. That's what I call a beautiful location, Dominican Republic, and so many good riders also there. The likes of Luciano Gonçalves, Joselito del Rosario, and Jose Luis Sidiaco. And then, of course, Susie May and a lot of the gang from back in the days. Coming to one of the top locations in the world. And always such good vibes over here. So coming up just near to the final minute of this heat, there we can see Victor Ribas. He's very closely ahead of Clement at the moment. Let's not forget the winner goes to round 5. The second and the third will go to round 4 to battle it out. So unless anything changes in the next 60 seconds, as it doesn't look like there's a lot of motion out there. It doesn't look like there's a lot of waves coming. But we have to see what is going to be going down, as there's plenty of time just coming up on 3 o'clock in the afternoon over here. All right, there you can see Sebastian Ribeiro turning all the way on the outside to see if he's going to go in. Clement was going to have a little try there and deciding against it, as there are some bigger set waves coming towards him. Okay, Victor Ribas, this could be one to maybe secure a little bit more. As he's making his turns all the way down. Liking what I say, boom, Victor. All right, watch out, watch out. That is a final wave, and this could create an upset here. I wonder what kind of score he's going to get on those. He had 2 decent hacks. He would need a 6.40 if he wanted to take the win. I don't think it's going to be that, but he's definitely going to increase his lead over Clement Rosselló. And here we have them coming in. That's the end of that heat. And just waiting for confirmation on that last score from Ribas. And here we have Sebastian, a little bit of an interview over there. One of the famous guys from down here. Very talented surfer, as I said. But while waiting for results to be dropped, and there it is. So Sebastian Ribeiro in first position going to round number 5. Let's grab the highlights of that heat. All right, so we are back. Ayrton Cosolino, Gabriel Benetton, and Igor Pestaña out there in the water. There we can see in the white, Ayrton Cosolino already at 7.03. In the blue, Gabriel Benetton with a 5.43. And Igor just waiting for a score to be dropped out there in the pink. Gabriel Benetton, one of the top surfers also out there now, is just about only points off here from Ayrton, but Ayrton smacking it out there. You can see him there on the stubby nose on the whip. Staying very close to the white water, trying to keep it down. And just make the most of every single turn that they can do out there, as they know that everything counts. And once again, the wave selection. We saw it with Sebastian Ribeiro already. Both of these guys have got higher scores than them. Sebastian got a 10.80 or 10.60 if my memory serves me right. So meaning that at the moment the best two riders out here on the water so far today, Gabriel Benetton and Ayrton Cosolino. So Benetton on the core, and we can see Ayrton was the one that you saw out there on All right, so here we have, there we can see Gabriel's Benetton kite going in there. All right, so there we can see Gabriel making his way back out. Only needs a 6.20, so he only needs to increase his scores by less than a point if he wants to go in that first position. On the left-hand side, there we can see Ayrton Cosolino. Both of the athletes going all the way out to the back. And let's see who is going to be making their way in for the next wave. Also, we saw there Igor Pestaña. He's going to be appearing on your screen ever so slightly. I've got front row tickets over here, front row seats. I can see I've got a huge window in front of me, having a look at the competition area. There we can see Igor also. All right, so Ayrton signaling the beach to have a little look-see. As he's waiting for a set, I can see Hendrik Lopez here, his younger cousin, his nephew actually, down here on the shore. So Ayrton just having a little look-see. And there we can see also Machu Lopez, all of them helping out. One of the beauties of the live scoring, they can find out what is happening, where they are, as they are out there at the moment. I can see Ayrton's on a 10 meter. Then we can see some 12 meter D-labs up in the sky as well. And when it comes to Gabriel Benetton, I believe I saw an 11 meter kite. I'll double check that when he gets a little bit closer. All right, so here we can see Igor Pestaña. Let's see what he has for us here. Right, they are really just hanging out the back, waiting for that set. A little bit less than 4 minutes to go. Ayrton again signaling in the shore, trying to find out and see what is happening. So 12.46 for the leader, Corsolino, 11.70, Gabriel Benton and Igor Pestaña with a 3.23. As we're coming up on about 3 minutes to go, and the sets are very far and few between. All the way out there on your screen, you can see Corsolino having a little look, as there is a wave a little bit further down on the right-hand side here. Is he going to be deciding to take off on that one? It does look like he is going to go and engage. All right, here we go. Corsolino dropping in. All right, making sure, hitting that big smack, even shouting out there for him. Up and vertical, letting that tail out. Nice 2 turns here for Ayrton. Looking to improve on a 5.43, his backup score. All right, here we have Gabriel. Waiting to see if this one gets a little bit steeper. But nope, going to be deciding against it and probably going to be trying to keep priority as he's going to be closer out to the point. And here we can see the vibes and the chilling down here on the beach as everybody is starting to get down and get ready. There we can see Machu Lopez and Hendrik on the right-hand side. All right, so there, Igor Pestaña on the way out, trying to get a wave here on the inside. And out there we have in first position, Corsolino, 12.46. Second position, Gabriel Benetton with 1.70. And here we have Igor Pestaña already getting 2 nice turns. And a shaker as well. He's happy. This is what we want to see down here, the Brazilian vibes. All right, final 30 seconds here of this heat. Final 30 seconds. Gabriel, he's looking, maybe this is going to be the one because he only needs to increase his scores by about 0.7, 0.6, 0.7. So looking for something around the 6s if he wants to get this one down. So here he goes. Gabriel Benetton, this is a nice wave. It's actually turning out and opening up down the sandbank. Is it going to be the one? Are we going to see a buzzer beater? Bada boom, first turn there, closing out in front of him though, as he's just going to be able to do a couple of foam climbs, letting those fins loose on the way down. I doubt that's going to be enough for him to be able to take that first position. Waiting for confirmation on those scores. But no, that is not going to be enough. So making his way all the way through to round number 5, that man on your screen, Ayrton Corsolino, congratulations to him. But let's have a look at the highlights of that last heat. All right, everybody. So now in the water, Pedro Matos, one of the top kiters in the world, also coming out here from Rio. We have Kelton Lopez from Cape Verde and Alemão Roche from Brazil. Alemão, such a cool guy. This guy, one of the Kitley family. As there it is, here we go. So, starting it off, Pedro Matos already has a 3.87. 12 minutes of action. Top 2 waves are going to count. Alemão, boom, off the top, keeping the speed down. Can he get past that whitewater section? It does look like he does. Little bit of a foam climb there, just keeping that kite stowed. So Alemão is out there on a 10 meter. Pedro is on a 12 D-lap. And it looks like also Kelton is on a 12 D-lap, if my eyes serve me right. So we can see all 3 athletes on a bigger size kites. In the lead, that man on your screen in the white, Pedro Matos. That dipping kite on the left-hand side, that is Kelton Lopez. After this heat, we are going to be going on standby as they're going to be double checking and having a look at the conditions out there as we continue on. All right, Alemão keeping himself busy. This is going to be his second wave attempt. There we can see Matthew Lopez here on the shore. Mr. Tropical, double shack is up to you as well, brother. As we are getting ready to go and having a little look-see. So Alemão here, he is really keeping himself busy. 3 waves already. Let's not forget they have a maximum amount of 10 waves. So you have to be careful. You do want to be picking off the good ones. He is currently in the lead with a 2.23 and a 2.87. And he's going to be making his way all the way back down. Pedro Matos now gaining speed off the top, getting vertical here for the Brazilian. A little bit of a foam climb here to see if he can make his way all the way down. It is closed, kind of softened up. All right, nice little pop air. Pop air 180 there for him. And you can see his face just nice and calm, nice and relaxed. That's such a nice style, this young Brazilian. Let's see what he does out there on the water. Kelton all the way down here, also out there on the D-Lab using the old Alula. One of the properties of the Alula, it is stiffer, lighter and stronger. And there we can see the Kitley team, Dolfinho. Oh, we got dances. Samba de Janeiro. There we have them. All right. Pedro going very nice and vertical there, getting underneath. Bit of a foam climb here to see if he can go further down, as it does really flatten out as they go further down the A-frame. So just 2 turns are going to be going for a third. There it is. And again, doing exactly the same, just popping it out and get those things backwards. So Pedro Matos still a 4.70, a 3.87. And here we have Alemão. Oh, good selection. Can he time it? Yes, he does. Oh, but unfortunately, just goes over the nose of his board as we're just coming up on about halfway through this heat. Beautiful day down here in Rio de Janeiro, Saquarema, the world-renowned wave spot of Brazil, kind of the mecca of the Brazilian surfing. They have the WSL event here as well. It's an absolute pleasure to be able to be out here enjoying the conditions. And now you can see everybody down here on the beach starting to get a vibe, starting to get a groove. And Dolfinho, the mascot of Kitley, it was his birthday of Kitley yesterday. Here, our main sponsor and event organizer. Big thank you to Rafael, to Laura, and to Victor and everybody of their team making this event possible. And we are so, so happy to have come over here in Rio. And here we can have one of the Kitley team, Alemão. Let's see if he can get a little bit more vertical. Yank that kite down, get that board up and to the top. That's a better turn. Up and away. Let's see if he can get the second one in. Good timing here from the Brazilian. 2 nice hacks there for him. And we can see hands in the sky and applauses left, right, and center. Big free turns there. A nice wave here from Alemão out there in the pink lycra. All right, Kelton throwing down and letting the tail loose. Let's see if maybe we can see a replay of the first part of that one. There we can see just letting the tail loose there. A little bit of a handbrake turn. Judges not the biggest of fans of those moves because it's very, you wouldn't be doing that on a surfboard. It's because you're on a kite, you can kind of let those fins loose like that. All right, Pedro. Let's not forget that Cosolino got above 12 points, if I'm not mistaken. Let me have a double check and see. Cosolino 12.46. That is the highest score so far. 12.46. And we can see Gemma, social media, just having a look and seeing that everybody, what's happening down there on the beach. So Matos, 9.13. Alemão, 8.0. And a 5.13. So Alemão has the best wave of the heat. Throwing down here, the local boy. And here we have Kelton playing catch-up at the moment. Nice first turn, hacking it away. Little bit of a bump there on the bottom. Let's see if he can make something of it here at the end. All of them just keep him busy, but that selection again, if you can pick off a big one like we saw here from Alemão before, you are going to be able to get those scores. And Pedro just cruising. It looks like he likes what he sees here on this one, so now going to be going in. All right, Pedro Matos, big first turn, nice and vertical. Linking straight into the second one, pushes it back, stays with the foam ball. This is looking like a very nice wave. Again, keeping that speed so he can go all the way down. Pedro Matos, sí señor. Very nice surfing there from him. And milking this wave until the very end. 6.87. And here we can see on the replay, just all the way over, up and away. Boom. This is the turn, how he powers up, gets back on that foam ball, goes straight out. Really linking it together. Great surfing here from the Brazilian. 6.93. So the highest wave of the day is a 7.03, also from Cosolino. But Pedro showing that he is right up there with the heavy hitters. No surprise on that side, as we knew he was going to be a force to be reckoned with here in Rio de Janeiro. And Dolfinho making sure everybody is hyped up and with their hands in the air. There it is. Shackers to you too. All right, Kelton. Nice wave here from Kelton. Big off the lip. Loops that kite, keeps the power. Does he link it in with another turn? Does, a little bit early. Can he get a third one on here? It does, but on the shoulder and again, just switching out. So just a little bit off of a sync with that wave. Judges definitely going to take that into account. But still looking to improve on a 3.50. All right, Alemão. He has a 5.13. Matos is 7.03, so equal on the top score of the day of Cosolino. And trying to make it all the way down. And here we can see the local crowd liking what they see, telling him to get back out as there is a set coming his way. Then we can also see Kessiani Rodriguez, the Yoko Brazilian from Taiba. Such a cool girl on and off the water, and a very talented young lady. Going to be seeing big things of her in the future. Pedro, oh, just going over, deciding against that one. And it looks like Alemão is going to be trying to turn in. Little under 2 minutes to go as we are here in this heat number 4 of round number 3. And then we will be putting the competition on standby. All right, everybody. So competition is on standby as we are just waiting to see what the conditions are doing. So competition is going to be on standby for the next 10 minutes. We will keep you updated ASAP. And welcome back, everybody, to the Copa Kitley GKA Kite-Surf World Cup here in Saquarema, Brazil, Rio de Janeiro. Just had a little standby there to solve a couple of issues, and we are back in action. As you can see there on your screen, yellow flag is in the sky. We're going to be starting off once again. Theo de Manes, Camille Delanois, and Matt Maxwell are going to be going out onto the water as we continue on here. Day number 3 of the Copa Kitley. Conditions a little tricky out there today. We've seen wind has gone up and down, but the waves are pumping, and we are seeing some very nice rides. Highest score rides of the day, a 7.03 for both Ayrton Cosolino and Pedro Matos. Around the 12s is where we are seeing those top numbers. Who's it going to be? Who's it going to be? We are going to have to find out, as now those 3 athletes, De Manes, Delanois, and Maxwell, are going to be starting off. Green flag. Who is going to be the first man to fire out the first bullet? All right, so let's have a little look-see and see the colors that we got out there. In the pink is going to be De Manes. We have in the white, Matt Maxwell on your screen right now. And in the blue, Camille Delanois. So here we have Camille, the North athlete. Originally from France, but lives out there in Preta. First little hack, keeping the speed. Now he's going to be looping that down to get it up again. Loosey-goosey. Very good timing here from the Frenchman. Staying right in that power zone, but just going off the end of that one there. Now, Matt Maxwell also all the way down on the inside of the shore break here. It is just coming up on 4 o'clock in the afternoon. As we have that sunset happens around 5:30 here in Saquarema. A beautiful location. We are so happy to be here in Rio de Janeiro. And thank you to Kitley for making this one happen. We've been wanting to come to Rio for a very, very, very long time. And here we are in the Mecca of Brazilian surfing. There we can see Dolphinho also there on the beach. The Kitley mascot, always with the animation and always with the motivation, getting everybody going down here. And you can see everybody starting to get ready. Now on the foil we can see Theo de Manes just missing out on one wave. So 5.90 there for Camille Delanois. And here we have the man himself, Dolphinho, on your screen. Oh, we got some samba and everything. Now we're talking, now we're talking. A little bit of a dance to the left, a little bit of a dance to the right. So let's get out onto the action, guys. And here we have Camille Delanois. Let's have a look at the scores. We have at the moment, waiting for some numbers to drop, but a 5.90, the leader, Delanois. 4.17 there for De Manes and a 2.63. And it looks like the guys are running up the beach as well, as conditions are tough out here for the 3rd day of competition, a 12-day waiting period. We are here all the way to the end, 8 days of competition. There's going to be a few lay days in there as well, as it looks like conditions in the middle of the week are not looking amazing. But also anything can change. Mother Nature is boss, as all of us know. But at the moment, it is that man on your screen, Camille Delanois, your current leader. Here we can see Max. There's Maxwell. So yeah, Matt, really talented athlete from South Africa. Running up the beach as conditions are quite light. And Camille here on the inside, as it looks like, I'm going to say it, it looks like it's going glassy here, as it does look like that wind is starting to fluke out. It's turned a little bit more offshore. And there we can see Matt just making his way, a couple of the Brazilian boys. Obrigado coming out of them there. Such a cool vibe down here at this event. Everybody's super friendly. Food is amazing. Locations, sunsets, caipirinha, caipirosca, you name it, we've got it. And some of the best waves in the world. Boom, Camille. Shame that he just missed out on that one. That was a very nice turn there from him. And here we can see Theo on the inside. And now I can see our race director, Juan Antonio, having a little look-see, as conditions are looking very marginal out there. Guys are really having trouble keeping up. I do wonder if we're going to be having an AP flag coming up soon. There we can see green in the sky so far. Camille Delanois in the lead, Theo Demanis second, Matt Maxwell in third. There on your screen, that is Theo Demanis. We haven't seen him on tour for a while. A very talented young man. He's one of the guys to do the first double pop shove it on the strapless freestyle. And great to see him back here on tour. And then Matt Maxwell, that you can't see, is a little bit further up on the left-hand side as he ran up the beach. But the wind is looking light, and it is looking very, very glassy out there at the moment. I would not be surprised if we see an AP flag going into the sky very shortly. But we are continuing on. A little bit under 9 minutes to go with this one, and going across your screen. All right, Matt Maxwell, let's see what he has. This is a nice wave opening up in front of him. See if he can make the most of it. Really pumping to try and get some speed. Once you're on your wave, you're good. First little check turn. See if he can get all the way down. This is going to be another check turn off the top. Straight lining it so far. And you can really see that he's underpowered and not being able to get the turns that he wants there. But still, wave counting. 2.63 out there at the moment. He might be going into first place after that one. And we can see some of the kit of the boys. There we can see Machu Lopez, Mr. Tropical himself, one of the top athletes. He took the win over there in Cape Verde. And we also Wesley Brito. And here we can see Camille running up the beach. Conditions are very, very, very light, as the guy's struggling to stay upwind at the moment. I'm just trying to get some information in from the race crew here. Obviously different perspectives. And here we can see these boys helping each other out. Sportsmanship always. So Maxwell here running up the beach once again after that wave. And here we can see them. There he is, trying to get out in the water. And Reese Maesco also. Okay, Theo Demanis looks like he's going to be dropping in on a wave. But getting pulled off the back, almost not being able to stay in on it. Okay, Theo, here we go. One of the lighter riders. First little vertical turn there. Coming back into the line. Kite completely just fluking out on him there, as it is really, really, really marginal. Camille also making his way back out. Definitely not so many scores in this one as it stands. Just coming on in about 5 minutes to go. I'm waiting to see if one of these guys can catch out on one of those set waves. It does look like there might be something coming Camille's way out there. There we go. All right, so Delanois dropping in. He's going to need to get some speed if he wants to get past this foam ball. First section. Gets caught up on the white water and goes down. Just not enough there to be able to get past that. All right, so just got some information in from our sports crew. They're waiting for another minute, and if nothing happens, they looks like they're going to be cancelling off this heat. As you can see, very, very light out there. Theo Demanis is one of the lighter riders and even having trouble out there on the 12-meter. Camille Delanois here looking a little bit more powered up, but as soon as they get on that wave, they really just not just have the speed to be able to get down it. But waiting for the official call at the moment as it stands. It is Camille in first. Excuse me, Theo in first, Camille in second, and Matt in third. And there we can see some of the vibes down here on the beach. Serena getting some pictures there. And here we have that competition area. And yeah, I think I can see our flagman strolling towards the flagpole, which I reckon is going to be meaning one thing. That it looks like we are going to be so waiting for confirmation here, but they're definitely taking their time. You can see a 12-meter D-lab going up here on the inside as well. Matt making his way back. All right, Matt here trying to milk as much as he can out of this little section. It's anybody's money, because if they do get a good ride, they will be able to get some scores, but just not being able to get the turns. You can see very light out there. Also a little bit cross offshore. Side offshore, excuse me, meaning they really have to get that kite low. And if they do not do that in the precise moment, they will be going off the back. So, all right. It's official, that heat has been cancelled. So there it is. Suspension flag in the sky. So that heat has been cancelled, unfortunately, as due to the lack of conditions. So we are going to be going on standby. We'll keep you updated as soon as we go back into action. But there you can see competition on standby there for heat number 5, round number 3 of the men. And welcome back, everybody. Unfortunately, the wind has not come back in, so that is going to be it for today. So that is the end of the competition here of the Copa Kitley GKA Kite-Surf World Cup Brazil. Day number 3. Forecast is looking pretty good for tomorrow. We will keep you updated on the live times as soon as on all of our social media channels. Thank you very much for tuning in. We wish you a beautiful morning, afternoon, or an evening, and we will see you very soon.
Wherever you go in the world, one airline goes further to make it feel exceptional. Qatar Airways, going places together.